Welcome back, everyone. This is the second lesson in this series. We'll start with a little bit more about what JavaScript is and where do we put it in our code. So what is JavaScript? Again, JavaScript is a scripting language that was designed to add interactivity to HTML pages. I've got a link on the lesson to Webopedia that has a more detailed definition. At Webopedia, they say that JavaScript is a scripting language developed by Netscape to enable web authors to design interactive sites. Just for your info, it was developed about 1995 by Netscape. And although JavaScript shares many features and structures of the Java language, it is not the same language. It was developed independently. They are two different languages. JavaScript and Java are two different programming languages used in different ways. JavaScript that we're learning here can interact with HTML source code, enabling web authors to spice up their sites with dynamic content. So dynamic content for our websites, or interactivity is another good word to describe what JavaScript is used for. Here's an example of some JavaScript, this alert method, this alert function. This alert method in the JavaScript library will display whatever's inside the round brackets in a small alert box on the screen when it's run from an HTML page. Alert, again, it's a method, it's a function in the JavaScript library. All modern browsers have access to the JavaScript library. So I can use an alert box, an alert method, an alert function anytime to display something in an alert box. That's an example of a JavaScript statement. Well, where do I put it? A JavaScript statement can be located in the head section of an HTML page. That's one place. Or JavaScript code can be located in the body section of an HTML page. Or JavaScript code can be written inside an external .js file. That's the best place to put it. That means lots of any of your HTML pages have access to the JavaScript if it's in an external .js file. Well, let's try this out. Let's try locating JavaScript in different locations. We'll start with this first activity here, JavaScript inside an HTML page. Use whatever editor you like. I'm on my Mac again, so I'm using Text Wrangler, but it doesn't matter. Use whatever editor you like. If you're on a Windows machine, you can use Notepad. That's fine. And we'll start doing this activity. JavaScript in an HTML page, inside an HTML page. And the activity says to create a new HTML page named internal JavaScript. I think I'll copy and paste that internal JavaScript name just so I don't have to type it over and over again. I'm going over to my editor. I'm going to go ahead and save it now with the name given in the program spec. I've got a folder that I'm keeping my example code in. You might like to keep it on an external memory stick or external hard drive or just on your desktop, but save it where you'll be able to find it again. I'm going to name this internal-javascript.html because that's what this program specification says to do. Make sure you're saving in the right format. Some editors might come up with a format that doesn't allow you to save it as .html, so just save it as all files or .html. It's very important that the file extension be .html or .htm. Just click Save when you're ready. Make sure you can find that file again. So I'm saving mine here in a folder I've created for my my in-class examples. So internal javascript.html, and I'm supposed to include the following lines of code between the head and slash head. Okay, well, we better put our basic HTML tags in first. I'm going to start with the open angle bracket, exclamation mark, doc type, space HTML. This tells a browser that I'm using HTML5, the latest version of HTML. That's the document type. In the next line, I'm going to have open angle bracket HTML. Later on, we'll put other things in there. I'm going to go ahead and press enter, return a couple of times, and open angle bracket / HTML, close angle bracket. I need to have that closing HTML tag, so I might as well put it in now so I don't forget it later. Everything between those two tags will be indented. Before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and put internal comments in this code that include my name and today's date. I'm going to put mine at the bottom. You might prefer to put yours up at the top. Doesn't matter. Open angle bracket, exclamation mark, hyphen, hyphen, author, Annie Wise, date. The day I'm doing this is 21st of July. It will be different for you. Hyphen, hyphen, close angle bracket. That's how I put an internal comment inside an HTML file. That's only seen when you look at the code. That does not show up on the browser. I'm going to go between HTML and /HTML. I'm going to tab over. I'll make my head section first. Open angle bracket head, close angle bracket. I'll press enter, return, and I'll go ahead and put in my /head closing tag for the head tag before I forget. Let's go ahead and put in the body tag and the /body tag. So I've got the head section of my HTML file and the body section. And the first bit of JavaScript code we're going to create goes in the head section. And this is it. This is what we're going to put in. We're going to go into the head section. We're going to tab there. So everything between head and /head is indented. I'm going to use the script tag. This lets the browser know that we're speaking another language now. We're not going to speak HTML for the moment. We're going to speak JavaScript. It's optional whether you put type equals text /JavaScript or not. In the new version of HTML, in HTML5, you can leave that out. It's fine to put it in. Does either way. Browsers will figure out that you're speaking JavaScript now. So I've got my script tag. Before I forget, I'm going to go ahead, press enter, return a couple of times, and put in /script. You must remember the /script tag. Between script and /script, I'm going to indent again, and I'm just going to write this single JavaScript line, alert, open round bracket, quote, hello, close quote, close round bracket, semicolon. You have to have the round brackets. If you're writing literal strings, you need quotes around whatever you want displayed in the alert box. These spaces are optional. I put them in for readability, but they're not necessary. And that's it. Let's save that. Let's open this file in a browser. Internal javascript.html. I'm just going to double click it in my Finder window, or in Windows it would be a Windows Explorer window. And when I open that web page, I should see this alert box with the word hello in it. Click OK to close it. Another thing we often put in the head section of an HTML page is the title tag. Let's add that so we have something in our title bar. The title tag, but we're doing internal JavaScript. So I'll just put that as a title on my web page. Save that, refresh our browser, and we should see internal JavaScript here in the title bar or the tab. And again, the hello pops up in the alert box. Great. So far, so good. So this is JavaScript located in the head section of my HTML file. JavaScript in the head section. That's one place to put JavaScript. I've just added this internal comment just for internal reading. Great. So far so good. We've put JavaScript in the head section of our HTML file. Well, what else does this program specification say to do? It says add the following lines of code in the body section between body and /body. Okay, so down here in the body section, I'm going to go between body and /body tags. I'm going to tab over. I'm going to indent everything between body and /body. I'm going to use the script tag again and /script before I forget. Again, this type equals text /JavaScript is optional. You don't have to put it in HTML5. Between script and /script, I'll indent. I'll make another alert box. Alert, by the way, that's case sensitive. It must be lowercase a, L-E-R-T. JavaScript is case sensitive. Alert, open round bracket, quote, welcome to my web page. Close quote, close round bracket, semicolon. Do get in the habit of putting those semicolons on the end of your JavaScript statements. Save that. Go back to where you've displayed this file, refresh it, and we should get that first hello alert box. And now we get welcome to my web page. Beautiful. So we've located JavaScript in the head section, and we've also located some JavaScript in the body section. Put another internal comment there. JavaScript in the body. That's two places we can put JavaScript code. Great. Great. Let's go back to the lesson. And you can see the next heading in the lesson. I'm still in the lesson that starts with what is JavaScript, lesson 2 in this series. We've just completed the first activity, JavaScript in an HTML page. Let's go down to the next heading, external JavaScript files. We can locate JavaScript code in an external .js file. So an external file with JavaScript in it must be named with the file extension .js. One reason this is a preferred place to put JavaScript is so the code can be used by any HTML page. An HTML file can use an external JavaScript file named myscripts.js, for example, as follows. If we put a link to that file in the head section of an HTML page, that HTML page has access to all the JavaScript code in that file. Again, we use the script tag again and the source attribute, src attribute. src equals quote and the name of the external JavaScript file. Don't forget /script. So we're using the script tag again, just using it differently. We're using it to point to an external JS file here. I've got a link underneath that to W3 Schools to the JavaScript Where To lesson at W3 Schools. JavaScript Where To, it starts with what we've just done, locating JavaScript in the head or the body section, JavaScript in the head section like we just did. There's another example. Here's JavaScript in the body section, which we just did. And if you keep going, you'll come to a heading, External JavaScripts. That's what we're going to do now. Back to my lesson. Here is JavaScript code fragment that could be placed in a JS file. So we can put any JavaScript statements in an external JS file. Little tip here, common mistake to make is to put a script tag inside a JS file. Don't do that. The script tag is an HTML statement. HTML is a language made up of tags, so we only have HTML tags in HTML files. Don't accidentally put the script tag in a JS file. Let's do this for this next activity, JavaScript in an external file. Okay, we're going to create another HTML web page. This time we're going to name it external JavaScript. I'm going to copy that so I don't have to type it over and over again. External JavaScript. So we're going to make a new HTML page. I think I'll close that one and make a new one. I'll go ahead and save it before I forget. I'll save this in my same folder where I can find it again. And I'm going to call this one external JavaScript.html. Must have that .html file extension or .htm. Save, and we'll put in our basic tags to start with. Angle bracket, exclamation, doc type, space, HTML, close angle bracket. On the next line, I'll do my open HTML tag. I'll go ahead and hit enter, return a couple of times, and put in my /HTML tag so I don't forget. And I'll go ahead and put my name and date as internal comments. It's my code. I should put my name in it. You put your name and yours. And the date for me is the 21st of July, but it's different for you, I imagine. Hyphen, hyphen, close angle bracket, internal comments. Great, so I've done what it says so far. Write your name and today's date as internal comments in your file. Now we're going to create a new JavaScript file named external-javascript.js. All right, file new. I'm going to go ahead and save it before I forget. Save it in the same location as your HTML file. Later on we'll put these in different folders, but for now we'll put everything in the same directory, the same folder. I'm going to name this external-javascript.js. Must have .js extension. Has to have the .js extension. The file name should begin with lowercase by convention. No blank spaces in the file name, and no funny punctuation marks. Hyphen or underscore is okay, but no other punctuation symbols should be in there. And again, no blank spaces in the file name. Save that in the same location as our HTML file. Okay, just going to move that over so you can still see my lesson as well. So I've created a new JS file named external javascript.js. Write your name and today's date as JavaScript comments in the JS file. Well, JavaScript's a different language to HTML. In HTML, when we want to write an internal comment, we use the combination of angle bracket, exclamation mark, hyphen, hyphen, close, hyphen, hyphen, close, angle bracket. But JavaScript's a different language, and we do things differently. We do comments differently. In JavaScript, to make an internal comment inside our code, we use 2 forward slashes. It's a different language. We do things differently in this language. We're speaking a different language now. We're speaking JavaScript, and an internal comment, a single line comment in JavaScript begins with 2 forward slashes. I'm going to put my name, author, if you like. You don't have to use author. I use that, habits from my last job. On the next line, I'm going to put another 2 forward slashes. So each line of code begins with 2 forward slash. Each line of comment begins with 2 forward slashes. And the date, always a good idea, whatever today's date is. So you put your name and the date that you're creating this code there. That's in an internal comment in JavaScript. Right now I'm working on a JavaScript file, and it's a different language, so things like comments are done differently. Good. So I've written my name and today's date as JavaScript comment in the JS file. In this file, include JavaScript code to display hello in an alert box, and also display welcome to my website in another alert box, I'd say. So I'm going to come down here and start writing JavaScript. Alert, open round bracket, quote, hello, close quote, close round bracket, semicolon. And the other thing I'm going to do is make another alert box that says welcome to my website. I'll use the JavaScript method function called alert, open round bracket, double quote, welcome to my website, close quote, close round bracket, semicolon. That's it. Let's go back to the HTML page and let's display that HTML page. I've got mine here, saved here. I'm just going to open it by double-clicking on it in my Finder window. Nothing happening yet. Why is that? Well, the reason is that this HTML page is loaded in the browser, but I didn't tell the browser where the JavaScript code is that I want to use. To tell the browser where to find the JavaScript, I'm going to go back to my HTML page here. In the head section, I'll create a head section first, head/head. In the head section, I'm going to use the script tag. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and put in my /script so I don't forget. I'm going to use the script tag. I've used the script tag before, but this time I'm just going to use the script tag to point to that external JavaScript file. So inside the script tag, after the word script, press the space bar and use the src attribute, short for source. src. Make sure you're inside the script tag before the closing angle bracket. src equals double quote or single quote, as long as you use the same. As long as if you start with double quote, finish with double quote. If you start with single quote, finish with single quote. So src equals quote and the name of the JavaScript file exactly as it is. Case sensitive, spelled exactly the same. So mine's called still got it, it's copy paste. external-javascript.js. You must include the .js, the entire file name. Close quote. That's it. I've now used the script tag in the head section of my HTML page. I'll go ahead and put in a body section, just because we always do have a body section. I'm not using it much at the moment, but I'll put it in. So I've got the head section and the body section of my HTML page. All I'm doing so far in the head section is pointing to an external JavaScript file. Save that, Control S, or File Save, whatever you prefer. Refresh your browser. You should get a pop-up alert box that says hello and another one that says welcome to my website. Good idea to put a title tag in the head section so we have something meaningful in our title bar. Title, I'll just put external JavaScript. You can put whatever you like there. I'll just say external JavaScript because that's what this is an example of. Save that, refresh the browser, and there you go. I've got one alert box that displays hello, another alert box that displays welcome to my website. Got my title up here in my tab. That's it. There's no JavaScript statements inside this HTML file. All the JavaScript is in my external.js file, but I can access it from the HTML file using the script tag with the source attribute. And that's it. We've indented all our code well, so we've got nicely documented code. We have pointed to the external JS file in the src attribute of the script tag in the head section of our external JavaScript file. That's it for where to put our JavaScript. See you in the next lesson. Happy coding!